Okay. Do we have the perfect marriage? Yes.
Do we have a perfect marriage? No.
My name's Aaron. My wife is Deborah. We're answering some questions separately today. We're going to see how we answer differently, and we won't know what it all looks like until we edit together. So it's going to be quite fun. And so the question today is perfect marriages. First of all, do they exist? What could that look like? All of that sort of stuff. I think it does, actually. Now the question is, it starts with, what's your perception of the word perfect? In my case, it is used as an adjective, but it's also the start point is within me. And for me, when I think of the word perfect marriage, it doesn't mean everything is rosy and you have the cool house with the picket fence and animals in the garden and all that kind of stuff. None of that. That's a load of rubbish. For me, the key word is contentment. Contentment equals the perfection of the marriage. Now, it is true that you could say, well, are there things that you would like to improve? And you could say yes, but the reality is, when you ask me what would I do to change our marriage, it really isn't stuff about our marriage that I would change. I am content. I feel comforted with my wife. I'm happy with my wife. It's a contentment thing. For me, it's a contentment thing. Does a perfect marriage exist? Yes, it does, in my opinion.
In my personal opinion, which is obviously the right one, no, I'm joking. In my opinion, I think people aren't perfect, and so how can a marriage be perfect? And what I mean by that is, people just by nature are selfish, and so your marriage is never going to be absolutely perfect, and that's fine, because in my opinion, no marriage is perfect. However, that being said, I do actually think that if you get what you want in a marriage, then it is sort of perfect.
What could it look like? I think, going back to the previous answer, it's a contentment thing. If you're content in your marriage, then really, what more is there? I mean, I heard a phrase recently, we used it in church, we were looking at this thing, but comparison can be the thief of joy. Do I have joy in my marriage? Yes, definitely I do. Do I have contentment in my marriage? Yes. Is it, I would call it a successful marriage? Yes. Have we got children? Yes. Are they wonderful? Yes. Are they irritating? Of course they are, sometimes. But the point is there a contentment there? Yes. So what does the perfect marriage look like? It completely differs from person to person. I bet that my answer is going to be nothing like her answer when she comes in the room and does her questions. What does a perfect marriage look like? I don't know. To me, it's the feeling of being at home. It's the feeling of being content. It's the feeling of being settled. And part of that really is to do with choice. Once I was asking someone, before I even started courting Deborah, I was consulting people that I trusted, and I asked them about what they thought and everything. And one of the things that they said to me, this is someone that was really close to me, I really trusted their opinion, they said, you can choose to love. Now, I don't know if this is me or if it's a worldwide thing or whatever, but I chose to choose. I chose to love her. Somehow that little phrase made all the difference. That doesn't mean that I'm forced at all. I don't have to try to love her. I love her. And so when I made that choice and the decision was done and dealt with, then contentment. Honestly, that's a great thing for me. I'm so happy about that. I cannot even begin to describe how pleased I am, how content I am, how at home I feel with her. So to me, that's what the perfect marriage looks like.
I don't even know what kind of perfect marriage look like. I think one when they're like the communication is really open, both sides are never selfish, I guess, but then that's just not real life, really, is it? I feel like he's gonna have really deep answers. I think I like what kind of perfect marriage looks like. Yeah, communication, a lot of fun, a lot of laughs, but a lot of like real talk, not sort of superficial conversations, but actually conversations where you're able to be vulnerable with the other person without like fear of condemnation. I think that it's like a marriage, like for me, like you know when you're like, before you get married, you can think like, oh, what do I want my husband to be like? What do I want my married life to be like? And I wanted fun, I wanted laughter, I wanted deep conversations, I wanted someone who would challenge me intellectually, but also be able to be silly at the same time. Which, yeah, you know. Yeah, he's so gonna have deep answers. Anyway. Do we have a perfect marriage? If you go back to my definition of that, no people are perfect, and so therefore you can't have a perfect marriage, then yeah, we don't have a perfect marriage because we're not perfect people. But I would say that I would say that our marriage is pretty healthy, and not in like in a boastful way, it's just sort of, that's just what it is. So there obviously are things that we can improve on. We need to work on our communication even more than what we do, in my opinion. Well, let me correct that. I need to work on my communication more than we do, because he likes to talk, as you can probably tell from this video or our previous ones. But yeah, our marriage is pretty healthy, I would say, and the things that I wanted out of marriage before I got married, I would say that I have them. I wanted someone who I could have fun with, someone who would challenge, all those things, all those tick boxy things. Even though we've been married for over a decade, that yeah, I still really love him. Like, and I still can't believe I'm married to him. I feel very lucky. He's lovely.
Do we have the perfect marriage? Yes, because of the things that I just said. For a couple of reasons. One, I choose it, and that's really important. I choose, not that I choose that I will have the perfect marriage. I choose that the marriage I am content with. Look at the other video we have sometime about being content with the wife of your youth. But I choose that the marriage I have is perfect for me, because it is perfect for me. I hope that she says the same kind of thing. I hope so. But that's the first reason is, number one, I choose that my marriage is perfect. This is not kind of some kind of strange mind over matter thing. I literally make the choice that this marriage that I have is the marriage I'm hopefully ever, only one marriage for me, hopefully it's perfect. Partly because I choose it, and also because she's the right person for me. All of the nice things that we say in the previous one about how you're supposed to fit together, how you're supposed to bear each other up, how you're supposed to build each other, how you're supposed to encourage one another, how you're supposed to guide each other, all of those things, she fits me, and I think that we do those kind of things. So my two reasons, why do I think that we have the perfect marriage? Number one, because I choose that we have the perfect marriage. I'm not forcing myself, but I choose it. I feel content, and I'm happy to feel content. I don't need to reach for more, I'm content. Number two, I think she fits me, and I believe that I fit her. So, in that respect, it's a good thing.
I think that it wasn't like, before we got married, we set quite some ground rules, and communication was a very big thing, like us to talk, even though we're just both naturally talkers, and I mean, in general, doesn't necessarily mean that I would always open up and talk about things all the time. That's still something that I'm personally working on. But like, I've been really blessed with a really brilliant husband. He's lovely. Yeah, so I don't know if this video has been useful for you, because I think it's quite a difficult one. Like, there's always videos about like, oh, marriage is not perfect and such and such and such and such, and I sort of lean that way, and I'm probably thinking that Aaron's not going to be leaning that way. Like, he's more in the case of like, I'm imagining, because I'm going to see this, we filmed separately, so I'm imagining that he's going to say like, yes, perfect marriage does exist and stuff like that, which makes me feel a bit bad. I honestly do think we have a good and a healthy marriage, and there's a lot of respect and love and fun and kindness and all that kind of stuff. But the reason I wouldn't say it's perfect, because there's always room to improve, and for perfect means like without flaw, and like maybe he's like without flaw, it's like a poster boy for husbands. But like, I know that I need to work on my communication, and I need to work on my like stress levels imposed on myself, and I'm part of the marriage, so I guess maybe that's why I think that's what my answer is.
If you found value in this video, hit the like button and subscribe to our channel. You might find something else that you'll like. Until next time, take care, bye!